Hey, good afternoon. It's Eric Aasness with Homebridge Financial Home Mortgage, and here we are, December 2nd, 2021. Year's almost over, and we're deep into the holiday season. Uh, you know, um, my two boys were both active in scouting and both became Eagle Scouts. I'm super proud of them. And I had the great joy to be along for that ride and led tons of hikes and canoe trips and igloo outings and survival treks. On those trips, inevitably, there was a boy who became scared about something. And I always ask them the question, what's the worst thing that you can do in an emergency? The answer, panic. Well, I've been getting sort of dizzy watching the bond market over the last week. It's up, it's down, no, it's up again. So, what's going on in the bond market? Well, the bond market is all about that. It's all about fear of inflation mostly. And there seems to be plenty of fear going around. What are the traders afraid of this week? Well, here's the roundup. Inflation, of course, in testimony to Congress this week, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, who was just reappointed for another 4-year term, admitted that inflation is not really transitory. It's going to be sticking around for a while. That means they'll be taking some steps to try to quell that. Employment, jobs are way up. We're estimating 550,000 for the month of November. Unemployment numbers are down. There's still 1.96 million people out of work, but that's a far cry from the 20 million we had a year ago. Omicron, the first case is now starting to hit our shores. The fear machine is in full stride. Europe, our lockdowns and mandatory vaccinations far away. They just did it in Austria. Is it going to be affecting us as well down the road? And the Fed itself, the Federal Reserve has 19 members, 12 of which are voting members, and they rotate around and every year. So in January, there'll be a new group of voting members coming into the Federal Open Market Committee. And some of them are a little bit more hawkish than the current crop. So, that means a possibility of speeding up the pace of tapering from their purchase of mortgage-backed securities, and also possibly a rate hike, sooner rather than later. Some of these issues are good for rates and some are bad for rates, and the bond market keeps flip-flopping back and forth as it digests, this data and speculates on how these issues will affect our economy. For the week, mortgage rates started out really good, but ended the week slightly higher, although still good. Here's the national averages for mortgages for this week. Conventional 30-year fixed rate mortgages, 3.18% up from 3.16% last week. 15-year fixed rate conventionals, 2.55%. Those are unchanged from last week. FHA and VA, 2.87% up from 2.75% last week. Jumbo 30-year fixed rates still good, 3.13% up from 3.09% last week. Every year, right around Thanksgiving, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA, announces new conventional loan limits for the following year. We just got those numbers a few days late than usual, but they are way up for our areas. The conventional conforming loan limit for Washington State now has increased to $647,200. That's up from $548,250. That means you could buy a home with as little as 3% down up to a loan amount of $647,200. And in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties, we have a second limit, which is called a high balance loan limit. And that one jumped up to $891,250 from $776,250. This allows you to purchase a home with a minimum of 5% down up to a loan amount of $891,250. Anything above $891,250 would still be considered a jumbo loan and subject to the jumbo loan rules and higher down payments, typically a minimum of 10% down. If you're thinking about refinancing and you have a jumbo mortgage, you may be able to get a better rate now if your loan amount will be below those limits. And with all this fear engulfing our markets, it's probably not a bad time to consolidate debts and lock in a nice low rate, since we just don't know what to expect down the road. I'm available to help you to discuss these and other issues. Just reach out to me. You can email me, Eric at ericismybanker.com. Call me anytime, 206-915-3742. Look me up on social media. Just Google Eric is my banker, and you'll find my Facebook page, YouTube page, all of that. So I hope you're all personally off to a great start to the holidays. Keep listening for updates on our markets and don't panic. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.